Touching down in the Southland, President Obama arrives in Los Angeles for a series of high-priced fundraisers.
But with Mr. Obama's visit comes street closures and blocked roads, creating major traffic headaches in an already hectic rush hour.
We've got complete coverage of the president's time in Southern California. Jamie Chambers is keeping an eye on the commute.
That's right, but we begin with Chris Wolf, who's live in Culver City outside a fundraiser at Sony Picture Studios. Hi, Chris.
Good evening, Cher. Carolyn, free speech, of course, is a right of Americans near and dear, and I can tell you hundreds of people took advantage of this constitutional right today to voice their concerns as President Obama visits Southern California to pitch his budget plans and raise money for his re-election campaign. He is now here at Sony Studios at an event. This morning, he spoke at events in San Francisco and Reno, Nevada. That was a town hall meeting. As we said, now he is here in Culver City for another fundraising dinner. I would imagine the scene inside this complex is much quieter than it was outside earlier today.
Obama, keep your promise! Obama, keep your promise!
There's plenty of real-life drama outside Sony Studios in Culver City today. Armenian Americans are just some of the demonstrators hitting the streets to try to send a loud message to the visiting commander-in-chief.
1915, never again! 1915, never again! Education, not deportation! Education, not deportation!
President Obama's Air Force One landed at LAX this afternoon. He arrived at Sony Pictures a short time later to attend a rally and a couple of re-election campaign fundraising events. But not everyone is welcoming Obama with open arms and smiling faces. Hundreds of people swarmed outside the Sony property. They are anti-war protesters, immigration activists, and people who just don't agree with Obama's budget plans.
Funny that these people are all chanting, Obama, keep your promise. The only promises he's kept is making energy prices skyrocket. Been to the gas station lately?
My message for Obama is stop deporting people, and especially the youth.
By the way, President Obama continues to use Facebook to promote his policies and gain supporters, moving presidential campaigning into the digital age. Interestingly, many of his opponents are taking advantage of the same social networking site to spread the word about their demonstration plans.
Undocumented! Undocumented! Undocumented!
President Obama actually had three events here at Sony Studios in Culver City. First was a rally at 4:30, then a speaking engagement on the lot at 5:30. Next up, close to 7 p.m., he will speak at a fundraising dinner here at the Sony Studios. And then it's on to a restaurant, the Tavern Restaurant in Brentwood, for yet another fundraising dinner. That will be at 7:50 p.m. We will have much more coming up at 6:30. For now, reporting live in Culver City, I'm Chris Wolf. Cher, Carolyn, back to you.
All right, Chris, thank you. And as our coverage of the president's L.A. visit continues, how's Mr. Obama's presence impacting people's ability to navigate through the West Side during rush hour traffic? We want to know if there's gridlock out there.
Well, I'm sure there is, and Jamie Chambers is live in Brentwood with the traffic part of that story. Hi, Jamie.
Well, it's been pretty ugly for some time, but I just want to show you how much security is out here right now. If you look down here, you've got LAPD officers, you've got Secret Service officers. We just saw two Suburbans filled with SWAT officers taking up positions, all to protect the President of the United States. And all these folks out here lined up to see the President and get a little bit out of electricity as his motorcade goes by. As the helicopter set down, people were already frustrated by tickets, traffic, and the lack of communication with the Secret Service.
They could have told us your area is going to be impacted. The president's coming to have dinner. Nothing.
Some of my friends had their car towed, and we were eating lunch at the Cheesecake Factory, and I think it was very disturbing.
But then the president swept through with all the pomp and circumstance. Frustration turned to elation as citizens soaked up the commander-in-chief's Cadillac passing by. There's certainly an excited tension in the air as the presidential motorcade comes down the street. Everyone's out here to wave and say hello to Mr. President as he makes his way to his next meeting.
I think it's definitely worth coming out and being in the center of the universe to say hello and have a little wave. It's worth the inconvenience.
Secret Service, the Highway Patrol, all the static in the air. I wish they would drive a little slower so we can see him.
Oh, it's really exciting to see the president go by, especially in our neighborhood.
Streets were opened up fairly quickly for commerce to commence, but residents scarred by the last presidential visit warn come dinner time, Brentwood will be locked up tight.
Traffic in this area is already a nightmare. I mean, add the President of the United States coming on it, and it's like, this is something you really want to kind of avoid.
You certainly do want to avoid this area in Brentwood here on San Vicente. What we're looking at is the tavern. In about an hour and 45 minutes, the president is expected to show up, meet with some just regular folks, and have some dinner. And when I say regular, I mean the type of folks that can afford a $10,000 Caesar salad. From Brentwood, Cher, will send it back to you in the studio.
Ooh, that is an expensive Caesar salad, that's for sure. All right, Jamie, thank you. And stay connected to KTLA and KTLA.com for more on the president's visit. There you can keep track of current West Side traffic conditions on your desktop or mobile phone.